Welcome back, Nerd Squad, to Top 10 Nerd. I'm your host, Johnny Rogers, and if you happen to be new to the channel, we put out daily videos on everything Marvel, DC, and nerd-centric, so hit that subscribe button to never miss another video. Plus, comment down below with who you think would win in a fight, Shazam or Superman. Now let's jump into today's video, the Top 10 Shazam Shocking Facts. In at number 10, fights with Batman. In 1996, Kingdom Come wanted to peer into the future of the DCU and displayed a bleak environment where our classic DC heroes had left and been replaced by their successors. Shazam, or Captain Marvel as I will be referring to him for the sake of this video, was a major player in this series. The world is out of control and the heroes are struggling to come together as villains and the government proceed with their own agendas. We see a different Captain Marvel here, one that's well dressed and at the side of Lex Luthor. When Batman tries to take Luthor down, he takes down Captain Marvel with a single punch. This grown-up version of Billy Batson was being enslaved by Lex Luthor's brainwashing, so the punch was necessary for him to become Captain Marvel all over again. In at number 9, TV star. Back in the 1970s, television networks were under pressure to not just make fun shows of a superhero fighting evil, but to make them educational. And for the Shazam series, they unfortunately followed the more boring and educational route. This live-action TV series had Billy traveling around the country helping the youth solve their problems. Although network execs aside, the writers of the show were the real heroes here. Abiding by the rule to make every week a life lesson, they also managed to insert some danger to have Billy become Captain Marvel. In at number 8, best-selling. Captain Sparklefingers at one point was the highest-selling comic book of all time. No, that wasn't the name, it's just the nickname we've given him. Captain Marvel was even able to outsell Superman due to its whimsical approach at hero status. It resonated with a wide audience and eventually sold 2 million copies of each issue, which included an appearance in Wiz Comics and in Captain Marvel Adventures, leading to its own spin-off series with the Captain Marvel family. Shazam director David F. Sandberg even said, "Captain Marvel is the ultimate in wish fulfillment. No need to be born on Krypton or trained for years, just say one magic word." That ideal alone was very appealing to a young audience of kids who wanted to be the heroes in these comic book pages. It's much easier to just whisper Shazam, hoping to gain powers, than to be born of a certain circumstance. In at number 7, stolen trademarks. First nicknamed the Big Red Cheese, and 20 years before being brought back to life by DC, the original name of Captain Marvel was up for the taking. We saw Marvel first latching onto the name, first popularized by MF Enterprises in a short-lived Captain Marvel series back in 1966, especially when they introduced their own Captain Marvel in 1967. When the trademark was open, Marvel snatched up the name so they could do more than just a similar character. When DC wanted to revive Fawcett's Captain Marvel series in 1973, they had to settle with just calling him Shazam, although they snuck in a subheading that read, "The original Captain Marvel." A little passive aggressive, but I like it. In at number 6, no Miracle Man. Back in the day, Captain Marvel was so popular in America that England even wanted to get on board. However, when Fawcett stopped producing Captain Marvel comics, the British spin-off refused, so reverted to just calling theirs Marvel Man. He would use the magic word Komoda and also had a family of heroes going on adventures with him. When Marvel Man was rebooted in the 80s, they were met with some legal trouble as Marvel Comics, of course, did not like that the publisher was even using the name Marvel at all. So, to avoid being sued and to keep the series alive, they transitioned the hero into becoming Miracle Man. So without Captain Marvel getting off the ground in the first place, we would have no Miracle Man. So it's a miracle, man. In at number 5, family first. Long before Superman had a family in the comic book pages, Captain Marvel had his. Because the series was so successful, it started, as I mentioned before, a spin-off of his family also having powers. First there was the Lieutenant Marvels, which was just 3 other kids who also shared the name Billy Batson and all shared the same magical powers anytime they said Shazam together. And more famously, there was Captain Marvel Jr., which was Freddie Freeman being saved of his crippling injuries by Cap's powers. And when Billy channeled his Shazam powers into Freddie, he too became a hero, although only when he said Captain Marvel. Then we had the introduction of Billy's twin Mary Marvel, who also had the same Shazam powers, but they were brought to her by goddesses instead of gods. In at number 4, his own world. Also known as the Thunder World, it was one of the 52 worlds that Grant Morrison's series Multiversity brought back and explored after admittedly saying erasing the multiverse was a mistake. Who would have thought? The Thunder world known as Earth 5 featured the original Fawcett version of Captain Marvel and featured a battle with Sivana. It was a heroic return that remained very lighthearted in its stories. In at number 3, fights with Superman. In the debate of the century, many people argue over who would win in a fight, Superman or Captain Marvel. DC decided to answer this long-argued nerd debate in Superman number 276, which saw a Shazam-esque hero called Captain Thunder entering into the Earth 1 universe. After being manipulated by some evildoers, Captain Thunder attacks Superman, leaving Clark no choice but to send him home. Years following this event, the two met for realsies in the aptly named title Superman vs. Shazam. While the villain in this plot planned to smash together Earth 1 and Earth S, the heroes were a little preoccupied with each other after being tricked into fighting, but Superman again took the W. In at number 2, a long time coming. Before the final release and the decision to go Zachary Levi for the role of Shazam, the movie about Billy Batson was kind of in limbo. Warner Brothers made a preemptive announcement in 2014 that Shazam was in development and was hoping to have it out by 2016. We now know that didn't happen. At the time, actors like Armie Hammer and Alan Ritchson were expected to don the big red cheese costume. I love that name. After seeing the film though, I couldn't imagine anyone else playing that role. Zachary did an incredible job. In at number 1, not his first rodeo. This isn't actually the first live action release though of Shazam. After outselling Superman, Fawcett also beat him to the cinematic punch with the release of The Adventures of Captain Marvel. The film hit the big screen in 1941 and was labeled one of the greatest cliffhangers of all time. In this story, the world's mightiest mortal is gifted his powers to defeat a masked villain known as the Scorpion. The Scorpion's goal in this film is to gather an ancient superweapon found by a team of archaeologists that was split up to protect its power. And that has been the top 10 Shazam Shocking Facts. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you enjoyed it, show us some love by hitting that like and subscribe button. Plus, leave us a comment down below with your thoughts on this list. And for more videos like this one, all you have to do is click that playlist on your screen. From Top 10 Nerd, I'm Johnny Rogers. Until next time, take care.